The Indiana Fever fought tooth and nail in Los Angeles, pulling off a gritty 1-point victory over the Sparks that could have major playoff implications. It wasn't pretty by any means: missed layups, sloppy possessions, and stretches where both offenses looked stuck in mud, but in the end, the Fever showed toughness and composure that signals just how far this team has come in year 2 of Cailtin Clark's leadership.
Fever pull it out by 1 point. It was an ugly, ugly game at times for the Indiana Fever, but they got the win. They needed this win. They were trying to avoid being swept by the Sparks.
Odyssey SIMS delivered the dagger with a cold-blooded 3 and fearless drives when Indiana desperately needed offense, while Aliyah Boston turned the paint into her personal domain, finishing with 22 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 assists in a performance that reminded everyone why she's the anchor of this roster. What made this win even more special was the fight from the supporting cast. Lexi Hull battled through visible bruises and still played elite defense. Aerial Powers hit timely shots, and even role players like Bree Turner and Natasha Howard chipped in with dirty work that doesn't always make the highlight reel.
We're a good group, from the coaching staff to the ownership to my teammates. Everybody is so genuine. Everybody pours into each other more than I've ever seen or any other team I've ever been on, and that speaks volumes.
Head coach Stephanie White made bold adjustments, tightening the rotation and leaning into the most reliable defensive lineup, a decision that paid off when the Fever needed stops in the final minutes. But the headline wasn't just about the stat sheet. It was Cailtin Clark's voice and presence that stood out most. Even though this wasn't her highest scoring night, she refused to sit quietly on the bench. She barked out matchups, pushed for pace, calmed teammates when emotions boiled, and after the buzzer, her fiery reaction made it clear: standards are higher now. Clark didn't hold back, demanding smarter offensive sets, quicker entry passes to Boston, and accountability from every player wearing a Fever jersey. This isn't rookie Cailtin anymore.
We're a good group, from the coaching staff to the ownership to my teammates. Everybody is so genuine. Everybody pours into each other more than I've ever seen or any other team I've ever been on, and that speaks.
This is a second-year star whose leadership goes beyond threes and assists. The victory itself may look ugly on paper, but to Indiana, it represents progress. Last season, the Fever lost these kinds of games: tight, scrappy, whistle-heavy battles where every mistake mattered. Now, they're finding ways to close. SIMS took the big shots, Boston controlled the glass, and Clark set the tone with her expectations. That's how playoff teams are built. And make no mistake, this wasn't just another win. Beating the Sparks on the road while Kelsey Mitchell struggled offensively keeps Indiana in the playoff hunt and shifts tiebreaker math across the league. It sends a message: the Fever aren't an easy out anymore. Ugly or not, they're building a culture that thrives under pressure, and that could spell trouble for whoever faces them in the postseason. So yes, Odyssey SIMS earned her moment, Aliyah Boston dominated the paint, and Cailtin Clark made sure everyone knew the Fever standard is only climbing higher. Ugly game? Maybe. Beautiful finish? Absolutely. And with the playoffs around the corner, this win might just be the one people look back on as the turning point.